I used to believe that regret was something weak men carried. My father, broad-shouldered, stubborn as the day was long, went to his grave in 2005 without ever flinching at the life he lived. Even at the end, when the machines hummed and his breath was thin enough to break, he looked at me with that same quiet defiance he'd worn his whole life. "No regrets," he said, as if he were signing his name across the final page of his story. I wanted to believe him. I wanted to believe that strength meant never looking back. But somewhere between growing older and running out of excuses, I realized the truth. Sometimes the strongest men are the ones still haunted by the echoes of choices they can't undo. For me, the echoes began in 2007. That was the year I packed up the last pieces of a life that had worn itself thin in Michigan and drove south, chasing a version of myself I wasn't sure existed. I left behind snow, old memories, and a 15-year-old daughter who deserved more of me than I knew how to give at the time. People think regret is loud, but it isn't. It's quiet. It's the silence that settles in after a goodbye you didn't know was permanent. It's the voice you only hear years later, asking if leaving saved you or sentenced you. Florida didn't give me redemption, but it did give me space. It gave me sunlight after years of cloudy days, and it brought me closer to my mother as she fought her own battles, the kind that strip people down to who they truly are. She carried her regrets like old scars, flashing through conversations in half-finished sentences and long pauses. Cancer took her like it took my father, slow and stealing. When she left this world, I was there. I was close. And for a moment, I believed the move south had been fate's way of letting me do something right. But regret has a habit of waiting until the holidays to knock on your door. Maybe it's the lights, the music, the families gathering in warm houses, building memories they'll carry forever. Maybe it's the empty seat at the table that no amount of food or laughter can fill. Every December, something inside me shifts, like a tide pulling me back toward everything I left behind. My daughter is 33 now, living her own life in the state where mine used to be. I have a brother up north, a sister down here, and a quiet understanding that family doesn't shrink with time, it just spreads itself out in ways that make the heart ache. I wasn't the traditional father. I missed mornings, inside jokes, school nights, and the slow, everyday rhythm that builds the kind of memories a child can lean on. But when she was with me, those weekends, those small adventures, those movies and flea market trips, I was present in a way I struggled to be anywhere else. Those were my moments, the ones I hope she still keeps somewhere, even if time has softened them around the edges. When I think about her now, it isn't with guilt alone, but with a longing to believe that those pieces of our story still mean something, that maybe, just maybe, she still sees me the way I saw my father, imperfect, human, but trying. And so here I am, halfway through the back nine of my life, learning that regret isn't the enemy. It's a companion, a reminder that love, real love, always leaves a mark. I don't know how many chapters I have left, but I do know this: the story isn't over. Not for me. Not for her. And whatever pages remain, I want them to count.
I was a man, always running from shadows, a heart full of noise, but nothing to say. Told myself leaving would somehow be healing. Packed up my life and I drove away. 15 years old and she stood in the doorway, trying to smile, but her eyes said stay. I said this ain't the end, we'll make this work somehow. The distance has a way of making promises fade. Now every winter pulls me backwards, every memory cracks the floor. All the years I thought I had time, I don't know what I'm running from anymore. Oh, I wish I could go back in time, hold her close and say I'm trying. Tell her that the man I was loved her more than he ever showed. Now the nights feel colder than Michigan, and regret is the only thing that answers when I call. I left chasing something I couldn't define and lost the one thing that mattered most of all. Florida sun couldn't burn out the feeling. That part of my heart was still up north. I built a life, kept on breathing, but some wounds still break when I think of her. These holidays cut me open, all the years we didn't share. If love is measured in moments, I pray she knows I was there. Oh, I wish I could go back in time, hold her close and say I'm trying. Tell her that the man I was loved her more than he ever showed. Now the nights feel colder than Michigan, and regret is the only thing that answers when I call. I left chasing something I couldn't define, lost the one thing that mattered the most of all. If time could bend, if roads could rewind, if every wrong step could fall out of line, I'd be there in a heartbeat, I'd be there by her side. I'd rewrite the story where I never said goodbye. Oh, I wish I could go back in time, hold her close and say I'm trying. Tell her